This is the plaintiff, Mary Chiricella. She says she helped the defendant find a home for 2 kittens, and the lady is stiffing her on the adoption fee. She laid out good money for these kittens for vet care. The defendant owes her, and she plans to collect the $180 she's owed here and now. This is the defendant, Leslie Diamond. She says she thinks the plaintiff's a little bit off her rocker because they never had any agreement regarding an adoption fee for 2 kittens the plaintiff was desperately trying to find a home for. Oh, her money? No way. She's accused of being kitty petty.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff helped the defendant find 2 kittens, and the defendant won't pay the adoption fee. But the defendant says there was never an adoption fee agreement. It's the case of Pussy Galore.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, Mary Chiricella?
Yes.
You are suing Here Kitty Incorporated, represented here by Leslie Diamond. You're the president? Yes. Okay. For $180, the amount that you say they owe you for as an adoption fee for 2 kittens that they received and kept rather than giving to you, the adoption fee. All right, so tell me what's going on.
Okay, in July of 2011, I rescued 2 tortoiseshell kittens, and a friend of mine...
Where'd you rescue them from?
In a street in a busy area.
Okay.
And
were they kittens at the time?
Yes, they were about 10 to 12 weeks old.
Okay.
It was a location where I've been doing cat rescue for 12 years, so it was a location I'd been to and had been feeding, and so then finally saw 2 kittens.
Okay.
Saw one actually, and then saw the other one a few days later.
Okay.
And a friend of mine, Eileen, agreed to foster them. I provided the food and the litter to Eileen, and Eileen took care of them daily, and then I created a flyer for Natasha and Nadia. My phone number is on there, and Eileen and I posted the flyer at various locations, and it was a slow summer. Economic crisis was in full swing, and I wasn't getting the kind of calls I was happy with for them.
Okay.
So
what kind of donation were you looking for?
Well, originally just to cover my original...
So what was that?
For the 2 of them at the time, I would have even taken $75 for them at
For
the
both of
time.
them?
Right, because at that time they only had 1 vet visit. It was $131, right. So I had
So
only...
75 for each or 75?
For the both
Okay.
of them. For the both
Okay.
of them. And
So
it was very slow going, and when Eileen had gone to the vet, somebody there suggested that Eileen could take the kittens to Petco on Route 3 and show them on weekends with the group run by Miss Diamond, Here Kitty.
Now do you work for Petco?
No, we show our animals, our cats and kittens at Petco.
Okay.
I've been doing rescue for 20 years, and Here Kitty is going to celebrate its 9th anniversary in September.
Okay, all right. So what happens? Eileen brings them over, leaves them with her.
Right, and Eileen might have even stayed that for some time that day.
Okay.
And then finally a woman completes an application, and then I spoke to the woman who wanted to adopt them. And then I spoke with Leslie, and I said, Leslie, how much are you going to charge them? What is the adoption fee? She said $180. I said, well, I will need to be compensated I will need that fee to compensate me for what I've already spent. She said, well, how much did you spend? And I said, well, it's a few $100s. She said, well, I can't give you that. I said, well, I don't expect you to, but, I will need the adoption fee.
Nobody talked about the adoption fee before all this was going on?
Mr. Chella knew what our adoption fee was, and because the people were in their 60s, we have a program sponsored through Purina that pays the adoption fee for the 2 cats. Then Mary came on the scene and said she wanted the adoption fee.
After the adoption?
After the adoption. And all the years I've been doing this, I'll usually sometimes split it with someone, or I write a tax letter.
Okay, so what happens? According to you, the cats get adopted, and then what?
Okay, and then Leslie, Ms. Diamond agreed that she would mail me the adoption fee. But I would have to wait.
The entire amount?
Yes, but I would have to wait because it was coming from Purina. I said, that's okay, I can wait. A few months went by. I suspected something was up, and I called. She did not return my phone calls. One night I spoke to her husband. He said, well, she'll get back to you. And so I went to see her.
Why were you avoiding her?
Okay, so can this person ask for an adoption fee after the fact?
No. Yes. I don't know.
No, yes. Okay. How about somebody more definitive? What do you think?
No, they should not be able to ask for an adoption fee.
After the fact.
After the fact.
Why?
Because the adoption to me is you're helping the animal.
Well, no, but there are places where you can get adoption fees. Can you do it after the deal?
No, I don't think so.
Why?
There's no agreement, so why should someone have to pay an adoption fee after they've been going through the process and now
They think it's free.
yeah, all of a sudden there's an adoption fee.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, going inside the courtroom.
I took all her calls. The one night that she called, I was very sick, and I was sleeping, and he picked up the
And
phone.
according to you, you left how many messages that
Several.
were returned?
Several
What's
messages.
several?
3.
Yeah. So you end up having to go in person
So I go
to
to Petco, and as soon as I go in, Leslie says to me, I don't have your money. And I said, well, how come? And she said, I had a couple of veterinary emergencies, and I had to use it. And I said, well, when do you think you'll have it? And she said, I don't know. I don't know. There was no attempt to work something out or make some kind of payment, nothing. And then said to me, if you want your money that badly, take me to court. I said, okay, I will. I said, you had no right.
Invitation accepted.
No right to cash that check.
All right. Now, you did get paid by Purina,
Yes, I did.
right? And at some point, you were telling her that you were going to send her the adoption fee, right?
I never actually stated that I would send her, and I never signed anything. I said I will try and see what I can do. That's how we survive, is by an adoption fee. That's it. We don't get grants. We're like city or state shelters.
Right. The thing is that that's how you operate. That's how she operates too. So that's how you both operate. What I have to decide is there's a contract between you two, but you guys didn't set a price. So I have to set a price. And what I'm going to do is split it. I'm going to order you to pay her $90. And I strongly suggest on both sides that if you're in this situation, I know you all want, you're all saviors and you all want to think that it's all about the cats, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes you need to get reimbursed your costs, and sometimes you feel that your organization has earned it. So it's about the money, and you need to specify the money part. Okay? Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to meet some cat people now, up close and personal. Come on in here. Are you satisfied how the judge splits it down the middle? Very
Absolutely.
fair. Right?
Absolutely.
Is she a good cat person, the plaintiff?
She does a very good job at trap, neuter, and return.
Why didn't you get something in writing if you had some sort of an agreement?
I will now.
Yeah, okay, all right. Head right down this way. All right, good luck to you. So come on in here and tell me, any problem with the way the judge split it down the middle there?
Well, the judge based her decision on what the defendant said, and what the defendant said was not true.
Is the defendant a good cat person?
I suppose so.
Okay, Harvey.
So this is an interesting dilemma. The judge kind of felt there was a loose agreement here, but it didn't rise to the level of an enforceable contract. So that's a situation where it's called equity in the law, which means you try to make things right. It may not be a technical legal thing, but you try to do justice. So in this case, the judge kind of just split the difference and gave the plaintiff something, and that's what you call accomplishing justice.